if you're not interested in a certain genre, you're not gonna just be like, oh, it's great because everyone thinks it's great, and the set was really cool. Like,
Yeah.
like it's just I don't even care about what the set looked like. The storyline was too dragged out for me. It was too fictional. I'm not into stuff like that. But like, was it a good movie? Yes. Will I tell if people ask, should I go see it? I'm not gonna say no. I'm gonna say, go ahead. Bring a fucking piss bucket with you. Like if you don't have a Wizinator or something,
Oh my
bring
God.
one of those with you and bring, a sleeping bag and a pillow. Maybe a neck pillow, like on the planes.
Pillow?
A pillow. Yeah. Like maybe you bring one of those and then especially when you don't have the recliners, you bring like one of those airplane neck pillows. So I think that's what you should do.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It's Monday, Y'all Couch Critics Edition. I think it's safe to say that this week we probably watched the first massive film of the year. So obviously have a couple of more coming up throughout the next several months to really end out the year. Big announcements this week as an official date for when Doomsday will be out, which was pretty big. And then, Dune will be shortly after that. I think it's back-to-back weeks, so that'll be pretty cool. But
Nice.
this week, of course, we watched Christopher Nolan's next masterpiece, as I will call it, but we'll see what these two have to say, with The Odyssey. So, but first, Freddy, how's your week going, guys? You guys doing all right? 3 hours in the movie theater. You guys, your legs loosened up, or did either of you need to exit to take a bathroom break or stretch the legs? Because I know that, for you two gentlemen, this one might be a little too long.
Yeah, I'll when I go, I will explain how I prepped for this because
Oh,
I really prepped.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'll talk about it a little bit when I speak, but week's going great. And though that you did mention the Marvel announcement, I am in San Diego. Comic-Con is unveiling that this weekend. So it's pretty packed in our city here today.
yeah.
Today starts Comic-Con, goes into the 26th. Yesterday was preview night. So a lot of people walking around. They're expecting about 100,000 people. Lots of cool shit down there. Might go down tomorrow just to walk around and like people watch a little bit. Didn't get tickets to go in or do any of that stuff, but ton of shit going on in the street down in Gaslamp. But the Gaslamp sign revealed the date for the movie.
Understood. So you're not dressing up.
No, no.
Okay.
I mean, never.
Party pooper.
Never.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, very good. All right. Well, that's exciting, right? Happening in Freddy's backyard. Brad, not much going on our way except for golf tournaments. But
Yep.
let's, again, saw the Odyssey. I'll go first this week. Again, it is a long one, right? So you got to strap in. But as a part of my review, I'll first say it doesn't feel that long. Like it doesn't feel like it runs the 3 hours, at least it didn't to me. I felt like there were definitely slow points, but I think that they were purposeful. I feel like Robert Pattinson was probably one of the better characters as a part of this. I think he does a great job really portraying the character that he's supposed to. And my Twitter feed or my X feed has been filled with Odyssey sort of dialogue following everybody getting a chance to see it. And again, Brad, you brought up last week that this is I think it was the highest film that we had seen at that point. I think this is the new highest, right? So we've been watching some, at least from the people's perspective, which is the perspective that we prefer. They've been very keen on the movies that we've been watching, right, over the past, 3 to 4 weeks. So 4.4 out of 5. But I've been reading a lot of dialogue towards the people that have read the book and maybe are big on this type, like Greek mythology, and are really picking this movie apart. I'm not going to be one of the people that does that. Maybe you both, maybe one of you two will be. I didn't read the book, or at least I probably cliff noted it back in school, but I'm not going to read the book either. I am a fan of Greek mythology, but I'm not someone who can like tell you all of the lore that is a part of it. So I really just enjoyed the plot and how it played out. More of like how things played out. I wasn't too keen on how it was supposed to go. So I think I came in with maybe a rather I didn't come in with a preconceived notion about how it's going to go, which I think helped me and benefited me because I know that there were some things structurally that people were upset with. But I thought Matt Damon was fantastic. I thought Zendaya played kind of an irrelevant part, but she was in there because she's Zendaya. Um, I thought Tom Holland was kind of a little bit too much of a wimp, but I think again that was maybe the point. But I really enjoyed it. Like it's very rare these days when I go to the theater, which I know we've talked about maybe back to when we watched Devil Wears Prada 2, to where the theater was so like you don't see the theater that packed much anymore. And Brad, I'm sure you'll talk more about this too. But like for me, like there was people sitting right next to me, right on both sides and in behind and in front, and there wasn't really too many open seats. And we saw it on a Sunday at like 7 o'clock at night. So people are lining up to go see this movie as they should. But it's very rare these days where I sit in the theater and I watch something happen and I literally get goosebumps. I literally got goosebumps when he's in I guess the dining hall, for lack of better terms, and he finally strings the bow and shoots it through the arrows. Like I thought I could watch that scene and how that transpires going into the fight over and over and over again. Sarah and I are already planning to go see this movie again because we both thought it was that good. So this is going to be the second time in maybe 3 weeks or 4 weeks that I give a movie 5 out of 5 stars. So 5 out of 5 for me. Again, I know that there's probably some things from the story that is a little bit off from what people were expecting. And, you're kind of getting it from both sides. Like I'm reading these hardcore right-wing people talking about how the movie's too woke. And then I'm hearing these other people talking about how they didn't follow the story close enough, right? Which is probably maybe the same group now that I think about it. But anyways, I feel like there's just a lot of, like with the movie this big and this anticipated, there's always going to be this too much in-depth criticism towards it where people are just not missing the point, which is to go to the movies and fucking just watch it and like it. If you like, you're missing the point, right? And it's kind of ruining the experience for other people when you want to read and kind of think more about it after. But 5 out of 5 from me. I thought, Christopher Nolan does it again. So sorry, boys, I don't have anything really too more interesting than that. But I did say in the theater when the dog died, I turned to Sarah and I said, that's not going to be good for Freddy's rating. But I do want to talk to you about that, though. And I'm sure I'm sure you will just mention it, Freddy. The way that the dog did pass, though, that was good. So again, I don't want to steal your thunder. I know you're agreeing, but Brad, Freddy, I don't know which one of you wants to go next, but I'll turn it over to you guys. Perfect sport for me.
I will go next. I will start this out by saying Christopher Nolan is an absolute genius. Like without a doubt. First off, I will talk about the length of the movie. It obviously was rather long. I prepared myself extremely well this time. Sweatshirt, long sleeves, long pants, like totally comfortable, man bag, snacks, even brought my own pop. Here's why I brought my own pop. Brought a Coke Zero. Peed right before the movie. I'll be 47 years old in 7 days. 3 hours without going to the bathroom is it. That's a tough task. So I knew that if I just had a can of Coke, I would be okay, and I was. This movie, hands down, by far, was one of the best movies I've ever seen. I like, you want to put it in a category of some movies like, no, Nolan, I'm not going to give it a 3. I already know your facial expression.
Freddy's face was unbelievable right there. He can't
Hold
believe it. He can't believe it.
So, like, you put this movie in a category with, like, Braveheart or Gladiator or, like those type of movies, right? Now, best movie I ever seen in this genre of movies, right? To Nolan's point, I went and saw it on Wednesday. So this was, 4, 5-ish days after it opened. Absolutely packed. Absolutely packed. There wasn't an empty seat in there. I sat next to somebody. I was on the end. Guy gave me a dirty look when I snapped the Coke Zero. Mind your business, guy. Mind your business, right? I wish I would have gotten down a little more of a rabbit hole before I saw the movie. to understand what he did to make this film. I don't know if I can send you guys some stuff that I've been watching, with the IMAX part of it. The fact that it's on 70 millimeter film where you can only see it in Grand Rapids here. I actually met a guy today who actually drove all the way to Grand Rapids to watch it, and he said it was phenomenal. Nolan, I would highly recommend you guys take a little road trip and for the second time and see it there. And you'll be happy because the seats don't recline, so it's very similar to like AMC in Great Lakes. So it's just like being at home. A lot of like really cool scenes. For example, the scene with the witch where they fed his crew the food and they turned into the pigs. That wasn't CGI. That and like which was crazy to me. The scene in Hades where the guys came from the ground. Those guys were actually in the ground with like snorkels, for lack of a better term, and how they were breathing. There was just so many great scenes, and so somebody had asked me like, "What was your favorite scene in the movie?" Hands down, it was the end. The way this movie ended, very similar to Nolan said when he strung that bow, and you kept thinking like, damn it, Odysseus, just tell him it's you, man. You're back. But like the way that he came back and how he did it was understandable because they had said to him, like, you can't just come back to Ithaca, and just be like, I'm here. That it's 20 years. Like things are different now. And the way that he came and I thought Robert Pattinson was great. I thought Damon was great. I'm a huge John Leguizamo fan. I thought he was great in the movie. John Barathol, big fan of his. I thought he was great in the small part that he had. Tom Holland, I guess I see where you're coming from, but I think that was the whole premise of that character, and you weren't quite ready to fill your dad's shoes. And Hathaway, I mean, all three of us are on the same page when it comes to her. Just if I'm guessing there's probably going to be 5, 6, 7, 8 Oscars, even more won in this movie. When it comes to the music, they were saying that the music was actually played on like ancient Greek instruments, which was wild. Just everything about the movie was great. I didn't think there was any low parts in the movie at all. I absolutely the 3 hours went by just like that for me, and I was on the edge of my seat. Every scene, everything about it. Like I came home, I told everybody in my house, I'm like, you guys all have to go see this movie. Like this is a 5 out of 5 without a doubt. I've been saving my ratings. I've been catching shit from these boys for weeks now, as they either go too low. Got a little excited with Devil Wears Prada. Got a little excited. Understand that. I'm saving this rating for a 5 for this movie, guys. Absolutely loved it. I will definitely see this movie again. I will almost consider going to Grand Rapids just to see this, just to see what this is about on that 70 millimeter film. I did see it in IMAX, well, actually EMAX, and I did look that up, Nolan. It's Imagine's version of IMAX.
That's dumb.
It's their thing. I didn't know what that really meant. Amazing. That's all I can say is absolutely amazing. It's honestly one of the best movies I've ever seen, and I will see it again. And Matt Damon's just awesome. He's one of my favorites.
Good.
He's so good.
Where's he from, Freddy?
Boston.
But yeah, absolutely amazing movie. Like I said, one last thing, and even like where they filmed, where they were on that castle. If you dig into this deep, they actually hiked up this mountain to be in this castle where they filmed, and then they had built out a whole stage where the guys had taken breaks and everything. Like, man, there's a rabbit hole that you can go down about the filming and the making of this movie that's just mind-blowing. 5 boys. I loved it.
Yeah. A lot of real places. I think the castle that is Ithaca is in Italy. And then the scene with the giants in the knight uniforms
Yeah.
the giants, that is in Switzerland, I believe. I think. It's something
And
with
there's
an S.
something about those
I'm
guys.
getting
They're
the
like like real guys, and the way that they like did
Yeah.
it, it's something crazy, like 7-foot dudes or something. I don't know, it's something crazy. But I'm gonna
Crazy.
get down even more of a rabbit hole. I loved it, man. Absolutely
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah. All right, Freddie,
Ferdinando.
you've been giving some skeptical looks here.
As it's
If
a
he
lot
throws
to
anything under a 4, I'm gonna just
it's a lot to unpack. For starters, watching this movie and the length of it and I mean, listen, the set design, costumes, music, fantastic. So was Waterworld, but that was a fucking bust. Now, I'm not saying this is a bust. What I'm saying is, in this day and age, that doesn't really impress me. That like it, it should be that good. The sets should be that good. The costumes, the music, everything should be that good. We're in a time where CGI, AI, anything like that. So like that doesn't really like impress me that much. Now, was it impressive? Yes, it was cool. Like I said, so was Waterworld. But now, I'm not comparing it to Waterworld, but similar with the like everybody got all crazy about like the set and all that stuff, and it was a bomb. Now, I'm not saying this movie's a bomb, but I am not as elated as either one of you guys about this. The movie reminded me of why I didn't take Greek mythology in college. I'm glad I didn't take Greek mythology in college. You guys know this. I am not a fairy tale guy. I don't like wizardry. I don't like that type of stuff. I was on board until Cyclops jumped out. Then that was it. I was done. Turning dudes into pigs, done. Giant guys coming out, chopping up stuff, stupid. People coming out of the mountains and grabbing people, Dune. So like Harry Potter, Dune, Lord of Rings, Game of Thrones, all combined into one little mythical fairy tale. Cool. And it was enjoyable. I did check my phone a couple times. I'm not gonna lie. It didn't go as fast for me as it did maybe for you guys. At one point, Mary leaned over to me and said, "Why doesn't he just go home?" And I said, "I don't know. Like I don't know. Like I guess because they needed to film another 18 hours. Like, like so with that
because
being
Zeus wouldn't
said,
let him.
what's that?
Because Zeus wouldn't let him. Zeus was doing everything he possibly can to keep him from going home.
Yeah, not into fairy tales and stuff like that, like I said. So like not I don't like the and another thing, maybe I'm also not well versed in it, right? So I went in there with an open mind, trying to see this movie, and I thought it was going to be a little more, just a tiny bit more realistic. Like, the battles were kind of cool and stuff, but I mean, dude,
So you were
come on.
just never gonna like the movie. You were just never gonna like it. Like
I
no
didn't,
matter how good or
I
bad
didn't
it
know
was.
Cyclops was going to pop out. I really
What
didn't.
do
I
you
had
mean?
no
You,
idea.
That's like the
Cyclops
main
was an
part.
act. They actually built the Cyclops. This
I
isn't
don't
CGI.
care.
I don't think you're getting it. I don't
I
think you're
don't,
getting it.
I
You're just
don't,
never gonna like it, Brad.
no,
You're just
no.
never gonna like it.
But like
No.
I get it. It was cool for like all the Harry Potter movies. That's cool too. They're flying around on brooms. That's cool. Like, like it doesn't make the movie better because of that. Cuz I feel like that's a cop out. Just to say the movie was great because they built cool sets. I mean, okay. Like, is that what where the bar is now? We're on
Dude.
set design. Um Other than that, actors and actresses, amazing, right? I'm not going to take that away from them. It's just wasn't the story for me. My favorite actor in the whole movie, Travis Scott.
Yeah.
First guy you see on screen. Amazing. Love that. So everyone else, they played great fairy tale characters or whatever it is in Greek mythology. And it was cute. But 375, and I feel like that's being generous because that's 75% tile. Greatest movie I've ever seen. I mean, when you said that, Brad, I almost fell off the fucking chair. Like,
I wish you would have.
Was it a good movie? Yeah, it was a good movie. Will I ever see it again? Never. It was like the movie version of reading a really long, boring book, if that makes sense.
I'm blown away at this.
I mean,
That and that's how I tried to explain it to Mary last night. I said, if I can explain this movie to somebody and they said, so what is it like? I would say it's like being forced to read a 1,000-page fucking boring book in school, but watching it being read. So like I don't know, man. I mean,
it makes
if
sense.
people are into Greek mythology, this movie is for them, obviously, because I think it's pretty cool. If you're into that stuff, if you're into fantasy, if you're into Harry Potter, if you love the Hogwarts and the Lord of the Rings and Dune and shit like that, if you like that stuff, you will like this movie. You'll really enjoy it. Now, as for Brad rating it on set design alone, I mean, you're not getting me on that. Like,
It's not set design
But-
alone. That's just like another thing that added to the movie that just makes it even better.
but it
Like
should,
I didn't even know about the set design till after the fact. Like that
but
was
the
like
set designs should be amazing. They should be crazy. They should be like out of this world. We're in 2026. We're not using a real you can do a lot of different things nowadays. Like I said, Waterworld was way ahead of its time. I mean, did you like Waterworld, Brad?
I didn't even see Waterworld.
Oh,
Yeah,
if you see it, you might give it a 6.
oh my God. Hold on. I get what he's saying, Brad, because what he's saying is for a budget of 250 million
Dude.
and 2026, like you should be able to put like the bare minimum is putting a good product on the table,
That-
right? Like that's
thank
what he's
you.
saying.
Yes.
But
That's
what
all I'm
I
saying.
would what I would say too is alongside of that. Oh my God. Hold on. Okay. What I would say alongside that, with it being the 250 million and it being 2026, to go into a movie like The Odyssey, which is clearly fiction based, and to be like, fairy tales, I'm never gonna like it. Like I think it's
Well, no.
bringing in maybe
Now,
too much personal bias.
well, I mean, it is what it is,
That's
though.
story
Like,
of Fred.
but no, it is what it is. If you're not interested in a certain genre, you're not gonna just be like, oh, it's great because everyone thinks it's great, and the set was really cool. Like,
Yeah.
No.
It's just I don't even care about what the set looked like. The storyline was too dragged out for me. It was too fictional. I'm not into stuff like that. But like, was it a good movie? Yes. Will I tell if people ask, should I go see it? I'm not gonna say no. I'm gonna say, go ahead. Bring a fucking piss bucket with you. Like if you don't have a Wizinator or something,
Oh my
bring
God.
one of those with you and bring, a sleeping bag and a pillow. Maybe a neck pillow, like on the planes.
Pillow?
A pillow. Yeah. Like maybe you bring one of those and then especially when you don't have the recliners, you bring like one of those airplane neck pillows. So I think that's what you should do. Other than this, let me say this though. This is something that you guys will agree with me on. I agree with you guys on. It's been a while since I walked into a theater and there was buzz, right?
Yeah.
And that I'm on board with that. I even said to Mary, I go, it makes me feel good that I went on a Wednesday night. There was not one fucking open seat, and it was 7:45 showing on a Wednesday night. Not one open seat. There's 4 theaters in there. 4 different screens are playing at different times. There's not one fucking open seat. That kind of buzz brought me back to the times of when Naked Gun came out and everybody went, when I scalped tickets for Batman. Never forget it. The summer 1989, scalped tickets for Batman. That type of buzz. When I stood in line on Broadway to see the opening of The Wizard of Oz in 1935 with my grandmother, that's the type of times that I enjoyed. But walking into the theater and feeling the buzz, I will say this too. You're going to love this, Nolan. At the beginning at an AMC movie, when Nicole Kidman comes out and does her little shtick, they talk about the stubs, right? And they mention like the A-lister Stubbs members, and yes, and 3 guys got up and everyone clapped. It was awesome. That was probably my favorite part of the movie. And like they were like this, like, you know, like kidding, obviously, and it was hilarious. And I'm like, let's go. Like this, like it was hype. The thing I didn't like, dude, like when a plane lands, you don't clap. Stop it.
Yeah.
The fucking movie ends, everyone's like a handful of people, handful of people clapping. I'm like, I think they were clapping because they were happy it was over.
Oh my God.
But I mean, I don't like that. Like, it wasn't a clapping moment for me. It wasn't like Rocky at the end, you know, like it wasn't like a clapping moment. But listen, the hype, the marketing, the hype, I'd buy that. I'd buy into that stuff. I love that shit. Like, if another movie comes out like this and it has this much draw to it, yes, I'm gonna go see it. I may not like it, but I like the vibe. It was really cool walking into the theater and being like, this is the first time we're all watching this movie that everyone's going to see. If that makes sense. And I thought that was really cool. And I definitely recommend people go to see it. I'm going to stand my ground. 75%, 375. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I love everybody in it, but
you got to have the 375s in order to get to a 4.4 on Letterboxd, right? There's going to be, you know, and I think that, you know, Brad is bringing the perspective of like, this movie was filmed on certain film that only allows them to record like 3 minutes at a time, right? And like to be able to do that. And I think that I read too that the movie, I think, is what was it, like 2 hours and 52 minutes, right? And that like that type of film can only be, I think, 3 hours long, right? So like they used almost the maximum amount of time that they could recording this film of this, like this caliber, 3 minutes at a time, a lot of real places, a lot of real things implemented into it. But I get your point too, Freddie, where it's like, you got $250 million in this 20.
a
Like,
$250 million.
yeah.
I
So-
mean, if you didn't put out something that you said, whoa, look at the effects and look at the set and the costumes and stuff like that. If you came out of there and didn't say that, then that's fucking terrible. But to just pat somebody on the back for getting a fucking boatload of money and making cool sets and costumes, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I see where you're coming from. Obviously, the budget was rather large.
It wasn't.
I will come.
It wasn't filmed by a bunch of indies, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's the difference with where you give credit to something like that. Giving credit to a conglomerate of, like, you know, being unlimited. It was probably an unlimited budget, to be honest. That was probably the number that it ended up with. But they probably could have spent $1 billion if they wanted to.
Well,
You know,
my understanding is that it was
2.0.
my understanding is that they were raving about the fact that they stayed under budget.
Mm.
So
Yeah, I mean,
It's tough to stay
yeah, I
under
don't know
$250
what that.
million.
Well, I don't know what that really means, but a lot of people are saying it's crazy that they did stay under it.
Thank God.
I will comment on the clapping thing. Like the guy next to me, because I was on the end. The guy next to me, he started clapping, but he was like doing this, like waiting for everybody else to start, but nobody bought in, and I wasn't clapping. I did lean over to him and say, "What a great movie!" Like, you know what I mean? I was by
Did
myself.
you say it was the greatest movie you've ever seen?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
To the guy?
Yeah. I believe so.
Did
I
he
don't.
say
You know
you're
what?
fucking nuts?
No, he was on board. Bro loved it too.
to be fair, Brad didn't say that either. He said it's one of the greatest
Yes.
movies.
And
Okay.
this guy
That's
had
fair.
like this guy, he spared no expense next to me. 0 expense. This guy treated this Imagine Theater in Rochester Hills like it was a 7-course meal. He had staffers just bringing him food.
Shut up.
Dude,
Here's my
chicken
take.
wings, pizza.
That's the fattest thing you could ever do. That's the fat. Like if
popcorn.
You were, if you were
He
to
was
talk
not
about,
a small lad. And
if
he
you
was,
were to talk about things,
Zero food. Zero
Yeah.
movie awareness.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Meanwhile,
you're on the
I got my
list of,
man
like-
bag and my Snickers with my Coke Zero,
Yeah.
you know?
Hey, it's okay. He spent enough money for the both of you. They probably thought you both were together.
No,
Was-
his wife was hammering down the food right next to him too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Heck,
they
good
were
for them, though.
yeah,
Good for
yeah.
them. Some people prefer to go to Prime and Proper. Other people prefer to spend $200 at the Imagine in Rochester.
He had to have spent every bit of $100 that and
Yeah.
I did a 6:00 show, Fred, by the way, at year 7. I did a 6. But yeah, I don't know, man. I get where you're coming from, Fred. I look, I took Greek mythology in college. Didn't learn a thing. Just did the bare minimum like I did the entire time in college. I always went with the motto of C's get degrees, and successfully got a C in that class. Don't remember a damn thing. So I didn't go into it like knowing what Odyssey and all that. I mean, I knew about it, but no, I just loved it, man. Absolutely
Chuck
loved
Norris. Imagine, though, to Freddie's point, like, imagine if a movie like Obsession, which is another one of the best movies of the year so far, like, imagine with that movie, $750,000 budget had a $250 million budget. Like, it's insane to think about that. Like, they spent 240.
it. And it was clear. It was absolutely clear. I could have filmed that with my iPhone. Yeah, I can. Look at how clear this thing is. I don't know. You're in cold water. It's different out there. You guys are still on that dial-up shit. You thank her. Yeah.
You know, also, Nolan, it's weird because I posted the movie poster on TikTok Insta and said, rate this movie. And someone commented on there some kind of MAGA stuff. And I didn't know that it had sides to it. Which
Oh
I'll
my
be honest, I
God.
didn't know. But like somebody on my post said, probably the worst movie of the year. I said, there's no way it's the worst movie of the year. That's silly. But somebody else commented to that guy and said, "You must be MAGA." And I didn't know it had sides. Elliot Page. Do not. Of course. Yeah. Yeah. The semantics.
So stupid. The fact that that's even brought up is just absolutely asinine to me.
Well,
I like it's
I
sickening that
also
people. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not political. This is not a political podcast. But you guys are assholes.
no, but to the point that some people are making on it. First of all, if you're going to be mad at things like that, then you have to be mad at the white folks that were speaking perfect English way back in the day. You have to be mad at the fact that there was actually white people there back in the day, because I doubt everybody looked like Matt Damon back there, kid from Boston, or Anne Hathaway, pearly white from New Jersey. So like there has to be both sides of the coin, right?
For sure.
Yeah. 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 It was cool. Yeah, it was cool.
You have to see it in the theater. You have to see it in the theater. Yeah. Yeah. Without a doubt. For sure. Yeah, the guy I met today that I golf with for the first time, shout out Chris Martinez. He's going to be watching this podcast. Him and his son are huge movie buffs. We talked about movies for a while. I thought it was super cool that him and his son drove all the way to Grand Rapids to see this. Like, that's a cool thing to do. Like, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, look, driving to Grand Rapids is like not for everybody, but I mean, he had nothing but good things. And he's like a huge Star Wars guy too, he had said. And, you know, he's really into that, you know, the stuff that Freddy hates. But like no, I thought it was cool. And so I'd be very interested to see, like, look, if I go visit my brother and I got some time to kill, I'd go. I wouldn't go just for that, you know.
I will say this in closing, I would have thrived during that time period.
No, you wouldn't have.
Thrive.
You wouldn't survive the day.
Why?
You wouldn't survive the day. Like, there's no way.
Bro, what do you mean? I've eaten I've lived off the land. I've done that.
You're the chiller of chillers. Like, you know.
I'm in my 50s. Listen, I'm talking about I would have thrived. Those people weren't even living till they were 50 back then. So they were probably dying around 30. So I'm just saying I would have thrived in that whole era of just living off the land. Listen, not the pillaging and raping people and fucking taking shit from people. Like, you know,
appreciate you making that
guy.
disclosure on here, Fred.
Yeah, I'm more of a barter type guy. I don't just take. I would never take something from people. Like, they went up into the one thing, we need food. Well, what if they? Well, we need it. We gotta take it. You know, it's like I'm not that kind of guy. I would have been like, hey, check this out. Why don't we do this? I have some heroin.
I can see that.
Boat. I have some heroin back on the boat. Why don't we give it to them for the food, and then we'll get out of here, kick up no dust. Like, you know. So, yeah. And the killing of the animals, I will say, enough. I'm talking to all of
there
Hollywood.
Was a purpose. There, I thought you were going to get into that a little bit more.
Throwing the puppy off the fucking cliff wasn't cool either. Was that okay?
No, it was not okay. It's not okay, Fred.
I mean, so like I'm speaking to all of Hollywood. Enough already. Like, you know, like enough of that's the new shock thing is like I've always said that the trifecta: throw up, sex, killing an animal. That's like the trifecta. They all sit in the room and they're fucking brainstorming and they're like, oh, hold on, we got to get a puke scene in the movie though. Like, you know, it's like we didn't check that box off. We got to kill an animal. Like, you know, like it's like, come on, dude.
Yeah, yeah. There was a symbolism behind it. Yeah.
I mean, he was also the dog was in his 20s. Yeah. His master returns.
That's it. What we got next week? 72 hours. The new Kevin Kevin Hart, 72 Hours, comes out, well, today, because we're dropping this on Friday. So July 24th. So we will be watching it next week, or talking about it next week. Let's say that. Great pod, boys. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've watched the previews. Excited for it.
I just hope the set design is nice.
I had to bring up the Devil Wears Prada because I knew it was going to come up. Take care, boys.